score of this game.
All right, Pat, we have moved inside of the 2-minute warning now in that game down there, with the Buccaneers ahead 16-13. Now the 49ers appear to have scored. Now let's go down and join Dick Stockton.
We want to welcome the viewers who watch the Vikings and the Bears.
The field was completed catch, touchdown. The play is being reviewed. The play is being reviewed.
Here's what's happening right now. Joe Montana presumably threw a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice at the back of the end zone, Dan.
And the review is, did he have both feet in the end zone with possession of the ball before he stepped out of the back? This is what the officials are looking at upstairs in the replay booth. There's the perfect throw. Look at the catch. Great hands. One leg down, one out of bounds. That's not a catch.
They're reviewing it now. One official signaled touchdown, and the other one signaled that he was not in the end zone, that he was out of the end zone.
Well, if they're looking at the same pictures that we are right now, there's no way that they can rule this a touchdown, because there's his left foot is in the end zone and his right foot is clearly out of bounds. But the penalty was against the Bucs. The 49ers will have a ball first down inside the 20-yard line.
Here's Gordon McCarter.
After further review, the play has been ruled incomplete pass. However, we have a defensive holding. Automatic 5 yards and automatic first down.
So pass interference against the defensive team, the Buccaneers. 49ers couldn't lose, although they could win big with that touchdown.
Yeah, the good news and the bad news is, the good news that you still have the ball and it's first down. The bad news is you still got to score a touchdown to win this one.
Or a field goal to tie. Ray Perkins, who promised success for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this the third year.
And I think he's got to be happy with the way his ball club played. This is the barometer, he said, to tell him how good a football team he has. He's got to be extremely pleased that they lead the Super Bowl champs with 1:30 to go in the ball game.
Beat Green Bay last week, but this was a step up in class for sure. First down, Niners on the 25 of Tampa Bay. .131 to go. Roger Craig inside the 20. Donnie Elder on the stop. Want to remind our viewers that 60 minutes will follow the finish of this game. As you could see, Roger Craig not having a very productive afternoon on the ground. 2nd and 5, the pass intended for Rathman, overthrown. 3rd down.
Now what you'll see Montana here in this situation, if he doesn't have a guy wide open, he's not going to force it in there. He knows that a field goal will give him a tie and put it into overtime, and he's got to like his chances against anybody in overtime. He's going to be very careful where he goes with this ball.
Still, it's a much tougher battle than the 49ers had anticipated, as much as they talked about Tampa Bay's upstart abilities.
It took the 49ers a half a game to get anything going, and to get back into sync to start playing championship football.
3rd and 5. 4 wide receivers. Montana has Taylor. He's got a first down, but a flag is thrown from the defensive backfield. Taylor has the first down, ridden out of bounds by Rod Jones. A gain of 12, but a penalty is down.
And again, it's going to be defensive holding in the backfield from the Bucs.
Second time in this drive. It'll be an automatic. Well, it was a first down in any event.
And they'll refuse this penalty because now they'll have the ball inside the 10, whereas if they take the penalty, it wouldn't be quite that far.
Holding, number 40, defense, penalty declined, first down.
Donnie Elder called for the flag, and the 49ers have the ball 1st and goal at the 8-yard line now with exactly a minute to go in regulation. 2
holding penalties in the defensive backfield is really caused by the fatigue factor. These guys are running around all day. We've played 59 minutes of this ball game. It's hot, it's humid, the players are tired. This is another long 49er drive, and that's why we're getting that type of penalty.
Rathman goes out, 3 wide receivers. Mike Wilson is the 3rd. Craig cut down for a loss of 2. Mark Robinson, the strong safety. The clock did not run, so we're going to have an adjustment, although one of the clocks says 54 seconds. In any event, the 49ers have used their second timeout of the second half.
That's just a case of home field advantage. You know that the guy working the clock has got to at least live in the Florida or the Tampa Bay area here. You don't think they imported him from San Francisco, do you?
I'm sure no one else was looking at the clock.
No, but our crack crew was. He got a good shot of it. Mark Robinson having an outstanding day. We talked earlier about he and Hamilton and Marv being the leaders of this team. Well, this is where the leaders have got to come up and make the play. They got to stop Roger Craig on a sweep like that, and that's what Robinson did.
Tampa Bay had scored a few moments ago on a pass from Testaverde to Mark Carrier to give the Buccaneers the lead. Igwe also with 3 field goals. Jerry Rice with a touchdown reception, and Mike Koper has 2 3-pointers for San Francisco.
Well, if I'm the Tampa Bay Bucks, I'm going to have to give extra attention to Jerry Rice.
1 timeout left for the Niners. 2nd down and goal at the 9. 2 tight ends, San Francisco. Montana. And that nearly was intercepted by Ricky Reynolds, intended for Rice. They had him covered.
Well, Reynolds did a super job of cutting inside on this slant pattern and broke it up.
Third and 9.
49ers only have 1 timeout left.
51 seconds on the clock. 3rd and goal at the 9. Joe Montana on 3rd and 9 overthrows John Taylor, but a penalty marker is down. You're looking at a dramatic finish in the 4th quarter of this game. Those of you who have been watching Phoenix and Seattle, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been called for defensive holding for the 3rd time on this drive, and the 49ers will have an automatic 1st down as they try to pull out a victory here against Tampa Bay.
Number 40 defense, half the distance penalty, automatic 1st down.
Donnie Elder for the 2nd time guilty of holding, and so here's the story. The Buccaneers lead the Niners 16-13 with 46 seconds to go, but they keep giving San Francisco a new life, Dan Fouts.
Well, and that's murder. And it's murder. It's like suicide. The Bucks just can't afford to do it. They've got to find a way to make a play without giving the 49ers new life.
On the 4, here's Montana. He'll run for it, and he scores. Joe Montana with a 4-yard run. And the San Francisco 49ers have regained the lead with 40 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
You know, the last time Montana was in Florida, he didn't do too poorly either. Here he gets the winning touchdown on the bootleg, a play that's been good for the 49ers all day long. He could have thrown this ball to any number of receivers in the back of the end zone. Brent Jones, number 84, was wide open, but Montana saw this clear sailing to the corner of the end zone for what appears to be the winning touchdown.
He has been the leading rusher today for the 49ers, Mike Koper, to add the extra point, and a big one because San Francisco now leads it by a score of 20-16 with 40 seconds to go. So the Buccaneers, who have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, need to go the field, the length, and a touchdown. The only way they can win. In a game in which the Buccaneers have given the 49ers all they can handle, dominated them really in the 1st half with superior defense. Even though the Niners led 6-3 after 3 quarters, Tampa Bay was up by a field goal and actually led by 3 with minutes to go. But Joe Montana, as he has so many times, Dan, led him on the big drive, and the inexperienced defense hurt Tampa Bay.
Well, it really did. That with a couple of holding penalties that kept the 49ers 70-yard drive alive. The Bucks have learned a great lesson today. They have been able to sit here in this classroom and learn from the master, Joe Montana. He's continued to come up with a big play all day long, getting in the end zone, running the ball himself. You know, he's going to sleep well on this 5-hour flight they got back to the city.
Donnie Elder on the left, Willie Drury on the right. You're right about Montana gained 41 yards rushing today. As Coper prepares to kick off. And it'll be Elder. He'll down it for the touchback. Well, tonight's the night. It's CBS Premiere Sunday, starting with the season premiere of 60 Minutes. Then Angela Lansbury hosts the CBS Premiere Preview, starting with the full-length preview of the bright new comedy Major Dad, starring Gerald McRaney, and it's a fascinating comedy about a military major who meets a young lady. He's got 3 daughters, and he really has his hands full. Then stay tuned as Angela Lansbury and the cast of Murphy Brown introduce you to some of the new stars on CBS. You'll love them all. John Cryer of the famous Teddy Z, Richard Chamberlain from Island Son, and Tim Reed and Daphne Maxwell Reed of Stoops. First down on the 20. Testaverde's pass is incomplete, intended for Ron Hall, the tight end. And then to top it all off, Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah star in the network television premiere of the hit movie comedy Roxanne. So stay with us. It's a great premiere Sunday, all tonight on CBS. 36 seconds to go, Dan, and no clue or no problem as to what the 49ers expect from Tampa Bay here.
Well, Tampa Bay has to go the distance. They got to get a touchdown. They're down by 4, 80 yards in 36 seconds. Tough.
6 defensive backs and a fumble. 49ers signaling that they've recovered, and they have. And that'll wrap things up.
A fumbled snap. Testaverde finishes his day, not in the fashion he started it, but he has had a rough afternoon from the second quarter on.
Kevin Fagan made the recovery for the 49ers.
Let's see what happens here. If he just steps out too soon, or if Grimes doesn't get the ball up, really doesn't matter in this situation. The Bucs had a tough task ahead of them. They played an outstanding game today, took the 49ers to the wire.
Testaverde looks like that he's hurting over in the sidelines. He had injured his right hand briefly before. Now it's his left. And the 49ers will just run it out, although the Buccaneers still have all of their timeouts remaining. They want the timeout. Tampa Bay coaches are signaling. The Bears with a big win over Minnesota in a final score. Giants over Detroit.
Giants bounced back well from that Monday night game. San Diego was ahead in this ballgame against Houston. That's a rare win for the Oilers on the road.
The Rams over the Colts. Eric Dickerson going back to Anaheim. 31-17 the final score there. So the Rams, the Saints, and the 49ers will all go to 2-0 in the NFC West.
You know, I believe that Green Bay came back to upset the Saints 35-34, so it'll be the 49ers and the Rams on top.
Atlanta beating Dallas.
Dallas still looking for their first win. They get the Redskins next week in Dallas.
Cleveland Browns go 2-0. They scored 51 points in their first game.
Well, at least the Pittsburgh Steelers got some points this week.
And Kansas City beating the Raiders 24-19.
Dan Marino had a super day. There's that score. Green Bay 35, New Orleans 34.
This was probably the only game that didn't have that scoring that we had throughout the NFL in what had really been a shootout day in the NFL on Sunday.
Yeah, this was a good defensive ball game. Very exciting throughout. You can't get much more excitement than having Joe Montana in a situation where he's got to drive the length of the field for the winning points. I mean, how many times can the guy do it? It's just great to watch.
Well, coming up shortly, a big night, a premiere night on CBS, starting with 60 Minutes.
And the lessons go on for Vinny Testaverde. Had a super opening day last week against the Packers, where he hit 81% of his passes. Today he's well under 500.
And Joe Montana really moved the ball primarily through the air. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers really snuffed out the 49ers ground game.
Outstanding job by the Bucs linebacking core and their front line. They had super penetration for the better part of the day. And Roger Craig won't be held to this few yards many times, but the Bucs deserve a lot of credit.
20-16 with 18 seconds to go. The Buccaneers used a timeout there. Montana uses up some more time.
But you know what he's doing is he's ruining his rushing average.
That's right. Another timeout called by the Buccaneers. And they are out of timeouts with 8 seconds remaining. College football next Saturday, and if you like Rocket Ismail and those great 2 kickoff return touchdowns against Michigan, you'll see him against Michigan State at 2:30 Eastern next Saturday.
And the Fighting Irish will be at home to show the Rocket to all their home fans there. Michigan State had an outstanding opening day against Miami of Ohio, 49-0.
You're still with the U.S. Open. It's a week ago, but that's 49-0 or 49-0 is the same way no matter how you count.
There's not much love in football, is there?
Right. Andre Rison and Tony Mandarich no longer at Michigan State, but George Perlis thinks he can do well with the Spartans. That's next Saturday. And this will be the last play of the game with 8 seconds remaining. And you can say a close call for the 49ers. You could also say it's the mark of a champion to come back from behind late. Do it, and the clock didn't start.
Unbelievable. That's the home field advantage working again, but they can't stop it now.
Well, it wouldn't matter anyway because the clock would run out.
Well, but it's 4th down, so the clock would stop if Montana didn't eat up that 8 seconds with the change of possession, but the clock never started.
Well, this is kind of a awkward, disjointed way of ending this one.
Yeah, an outstanding ball game. To have the finish like this is kind of disturbing. They said that only took 3 seconds.
There are officially 3 seconds remaining.
Now they're saying it took 5 seconds. So.
Some of the players are more upset than anyone else.
Well, and the Bucs have 1 play left, so anything can happen. The clock stops at a change of possession, so the Buccaneers can throw this ball, down the field, see if they can get a pass interference or get in that end zone, but chances aren't very good.
3 seconds to go. A real prevent defense for San Francisco here. Only 3 men rushing. And the pass is picked off by Ronnie Lott, and that'll be his 2nd interception as the game finally ends. The 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a big struggle for the world champs, 20-16.
Staying on top is not easy. You have to give 110% and expect it from yourself, everyone, everything. Speed Stick deodorant gives 110%. That's its edge. Why? It has no alcohol, and alcohol evaporates. Speed Stick protection doesn't evaporate even after 24 hours. Glides on dry in just a few strokes. That's 110% protection.
Speed Stick deodorant, the wide stick.
That's your edge.
By Menon.
The struggle for excellence is the spirit behind running a business. It's the only way to run an airline. At Northwest, helping you do business is putting us on the fast track. In all we do, we're striving to jump the line from the merely good to being great. Because being the best is the only thing we want to be.
So for Dan Fouts, I'm Dick Stockton saying so long from Tampa Stadium, where the 49ers beat the Bucs 20-16. You've been watching CBS coverage of the National Football League.
United Airlines, from the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.